Good morning everybody, I am Melissa Canaria. In this video we are going to talking about New Zealand and the migration in the country. New Zealand is a country of Oceania, located at the southwest of the Pacific Ocean, constituted in a parliamentary monarchy. It is formed by two large islands, North Island and South Island, also with too many little islands. Although Wellington is the capital of the country, Auckland in North Island is the most populated city and, in fact, the economic capital of the country. New Zealand have positive aspects for the migrants. For example, it have wonderful landscapes that inhabitants don't have produced. It's a place of opportunities, open not just to travel, also even for work, and it's for it that there are cultural diversity. The people are so kind with each other, and the security, the order, and the cleanness of the country are so really good.
The immigration brings the vitality and diversity that today is visible in the cities of the country. The multicultural society has shown that there are so many ways to be a New Zealander. As well exists ALAC, Auckland Latin American Community. It's an organization dedicated to provide service to Hispanics. One service is a cultural library called Letras Latinas. This protects the Latin culture in childs of Latin people so they don't lose their language. Also, to this place come Kiwis, New Zealanders to learn a little of Latin culture, and read books in Spanish and Portuguese. ALAC offers social assistance working with refugees who came from Latin America, specifically Colombians. They help them to install in New Zealand and they orient them a little. Hawaiians, Chileans, Brazilians, Argentines, and now Venezuelans are Latinos who are taking care of giving it some flavor, dancing, parties, meetings, roast, and some other things. They are getting to give a little color to those who have great tones in the rainbow. Here, among these countries, there are no borders, and each meeting between brothers is more careful and special. In a few words, Latinos can be described as joy, warmth, physical contact, and expression, giving New Zealand its daily quota of Latin flavor. The place is made by the warmth of the people, and Latinos and their work in New Zealand that are making this place a bit more picturesque. There are hundreds of testimonies of Latin Americans that make clear and confirm that the quality of life in New Zealand led to that it is the third safest country in the world, and with technological advances and scientific findings, New Zealand gives Latin American professionals the dream way to live, either individually or as a family. That is why the Latino population is increasing every day in this oceanic place.
Next, we will talk about migration of South Americans. According to statistics, New Zealand is not one of the preferred destinations for South America, given that, according to figures, the migration population in New Zealand is made up of a large proportion of citizens of the United Kingdom with 27, China with 9, and India with 7. The maximum representative of the South American is Brazil, reporting 380,727 people who migrate to that country, followed by Chile, Argentina, and Colombia. That report a migration volume of 205,069 1,817 and 1,228 people respectively. Now, regarding New Zealand immigration programs for professionals, New Zealand in recent years has sought to attract qualified foreign workers who have a solid career into that a good command of the English language. These two characteristics are the vital importance since they are the most important in the market work within the country. Based on this New Zealand, I create the Qualified Immigration Program, and to be a beneficiary of this program, interested persons must meet the following requirements. Be less than 56 years old, possess sufficient command of the English language, not have any type of degenerative or disability disease, do not count any criminal orientation. This program is able for any occupation, but at the time of for residents, you must have one of the exceptions. That your occupation or occupation is registered in the list of qualified occupation of New Zealand. That your trade or employment is on the list of jobs treated as exceptions. Have a track record of international excellence. The candidate how aspires to resident must also present a test called test points, where the New Zealand authorities will proceed to qualify or postulate some of the points. Discussed are the academic degree, profession, and work experience that have a postulates. The candidate will accept the test if you can achieve more than 100 points and pass to the final phase of the process now as interest expression or EIO, where the candidate will proceed to show their intention to emigrate to New Zealand in addition to supplying the personal information requests in the process. This request will be saved and analyzed by the authorities in charge of the selection immigrants, and if the candidate is selected, notification will be received informing him that he can make his application for residence as beneficiary of Qualified Immigration Program. Regarding the disadvantage of traveling to New Zealand. Traveling to New Zealand is very expensive, and likewise, immigrants will see that visits to their country of the origin will in some case call for good economic stability and ability of time due to the distance of these two American countries. Communication with relatives left in the country of the origin of the immigrant can be difficult and complicated since the Asian time zone of the New Zealand should be taken into account. The difference with countries in Latin America and Europe can be up to 10 hours. The communities of Latin Americans and Hispanics in New Zealand are small. New Zealand immigration for skilled workers is selective. Given its policies, New Zealand tends to give priority to the immigrants of citizens from the most important economic powers in the region, such as Australia, China, India, Japan, Singapore, and Korea.